In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to prepare a personal finance tracking tool. What do I mean? We're going to track 5 important things in personal finance. 1 is expenses of actual against plan. 2, we track our investments. 3, our savings. 4, our current cash balances. And lastly, our income. So I have 3 sheets here. One is a sheet where I put my detailed information and automatically it updates these reports here. Then I also have a master information sheet where I put my master kind of information that does not change frequently. Now, if I go back to the report and I zoom in, you're going to see that I have a summary report here of performance. So it shows our money that we spend either goes to expenses. In our case, it was 19% of the total expense. Savings, we are heavy savers, 41%, or investments, which is also 41%. When we add all this, we get 100%. Now, the other report gives us our balances that we have in cash, Visa card, and bank, and you can add on any other that you want. So this is our opening balance. This is what we started with. We spent and also received cash and then ended up with these balances, and these are the corresponding percentages of where we hold our money. When I move to the right, I have an expense report which compares actual spending against plan and gives us a variance. The variance in green means that our spending is below our plan, and the values in red mean that our spending was more than what we had planned. Then we move to the right here. We have our investment report, which basically shows our planned investment as 120K, our actual investments that we made at 50K, and we had a variance of 70K that we had not yet made as at the time of this report. Now we also have a savings report, which shows our planned savings as 120K, actual savings as 50K, and the variance as 70K, and their corresponding percentages. And lastly, but not least, this one shows our performance as regards to income. We plan to receive 1 million, we got 800K, and we have a variance of 20%. So this is, I'm going to show you how we can prepare this. And all this, we don't have to touch this sheet. This sheet is controlled by formulas. All we have to do is enter information in this detailed sheet, which captures the date, the description, the payment method, the cash or the money that is coming in, either through Visa, cash, or bank, and what is going out. Column F categorizes our transactions into more specific items. For example, expenses can be clothes, rent, repairs, etc., bank charges. And column G has a more high-level general categorization of column F. For example, clothes, rent, repair, all these under column G are categorized as expenses. Investment in shares, investment in bonds, more specific under column F, but under column G, they are all investments. Some of them are similar, like savings in column F and savings in column G. However, if you had more specific savings, of categorizing savings, you could do that under column F, and then under column G, we shall call all of them savings. Now let's explain how we create our master. As I explained earlier, the master contains information that does not change frequently. So one, we have the category of the transaction. So we have the different things that we're going to be spending on, income and the savings. So we have our expenses, our savings in shares, real estate, and the rest, and our categories of income. This can be salary, can be royalties, or any other type of income. Then next here we have the transaction type. Rent is an expense, repairs is an expense, investment in shares, we call it investment, investment in real estate is an investment, income, it can be a salary. To type in here, if you get new expense categories, you come and type it here and categorize it as to whether it's an expense, investment, or a saving. Then next here we have our payment methods. You can pay using cash, Visa card, or bank, or any other payment methods that you want to use. You can populate them here. So with that, you'll have created your master information. That is information that does not frequently change. Next, we are going to create our data sheet. In this data sheet, this is the sheet that you use on a daily basis to enter all kinds of information. So if you look at how we have arranged our sheets, we have the master sheet, which contains information that does not frequently change. And the data sheet, this is where we put all the transactions that we enter on a daily basis. The next is the analysis or the report section, which gives us the reports that are prepared based on the data sheet and the master sheet. So to prepare, I'm going to paste in the headings, Ctrl V, and we are going to have the date of the transaction. We have a description of the transaction, the payment method. All the monies that we receive would be under column D. All monies that go out either as savings or payments or investments will be under column E. And under column F, we are going to categorize the, if we have incurred rent, we say we have incurred this money on rent. If we have saved the money, we say this money has gone to savings. If we have invested it in what investment, is it investment in shares? Is it investments in bonds, in real estate? Whatever investment that we make will be, all that will fall under the categories column. Then under type, that will be about the type of transaction. Our transactions will fall, they may either be expenses, that's type 1, or there'll be investments, that's type 2, and type 3 will be savings, and probably type 4 will be income. So we shall have 4 transaction types: income, expenses, savings, and investments. We need to populate things that are common, that we shall be using frequently, and we shall not need to waste time on entering information on them. Those things are also found in our master information. For example, the payment method is part of the master information. So we need to insert it here. Then category, we need to put a drop down for the category as well, because that is part of our master information. And also, lastly, the type of transaction is part of our master information right here in column B. We also need to put a drop down for that. So let's put those drop downs, and then we continue with building our data sheet. So the first thing I'm going to do, Control Shift down, highlight the whole column, go up, data, validation. It brings this validation rows. This one is properly selected. I want a drop down. If I go here, I want a drop down from a range. Click on that. Then it's asking me where do we pick that range? Click on that. There, go to your master sheet. And I'm interested in payment methods. I pick this, I drop the end reference, say okay, say done, go back to the payment, to the data sheet, close this, and you're going to see that our payment methods are populated into the sheet. That is good. The next thing we're going to do is also do a drop down for the category. Control Shift down, highlight everything, go to data, validation. It selects, I'm going to add another rule. It selects the range correctly. I want a drop down from a range, pick the range in there. Now I want to populate the categories. So I can pick my category. Let's pick our range properly. Category A, drop the end reference, say okay, done, done. Go back to the master. Let's check whether we have done it correctly. Categories, yes, these are our categories. Our expenses is not done. Control Shift down, highlight all these rows. Data validation, add a new rule. Drop down from a range, select the range, go to your master, select the transaction type, drop the reference, and say done. Go back to your master, check that everything is okay. So we have our payment methods properly done there. We have our transaction category and transaction type fully populated, and we are ready to go. So let's insert transactions. I'm going to paste them here like so. So these are transactions that I've pasted in and to get me started. But it is quite simple. If you want to enter a transaction, you enter a date, 7th, 2022. Then you describe what the transaction is all about. What am I paying? I'm doing some repairs. How am I paying them? I'm paying them using a Visa card. Is it cash in? No. It is cash out. How much is it? 2,000. Enter there. Expense category. What's the expense category? Expense category is repair, and it is an expense. So this is how you enter your transactions. Now, right now, I'm going to change this one here. I don't want to enter it. I want it to be automatically entered. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove these drop downs here. I think I go to validation, data validation rules, and this is column G. I need to delete that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a VLOOKUP formula to automate the entering of this category. The transaction type is based on the category that I enter here. So I can use a VLOOKUP. Now let's use the VLOOKUP formula to get the transaction type. I'm going to say VLOOKUP. If you don't know how to do this, there's a video I have on VLOOKUP. The search key will be, what am I searching for? I'm searching for the column F item cell, comma, Where am I searching this? In my master table range. Highlight these two, drop the end reference, comma. When I get it, under what column do I want the value to return? I want the type to be returned, which is in column 2, 1, 2. So I place a 2 here, comma, exact match, close, enter. So you see that it returns income, which is correct. Income here relates to income. Go back. Now to copy down, I need to lock this range with F4, like so. Autofill comes into play. Is it getting it right? Think so. Say OK. Clothes, expenses, investment in shares and investment, savings, savings. This is OK. In this section, we are going to look at how we prepare our reports. And we are going to start off with the income report, investment report, and savings report. So here we have our planned income, actual income, and the variance. I'll quickly enter those, and they are similar to the others. So I copy them across like so. What is our planned income? 1 million. Then the variance will be what we plan to receive minus what we actually received, which will be the same for all these categories. So the next important thing is, how do we get our income? We are going to use the sum if function, which takes a range from where we're going to select our criteria, and we're going to get this from our data entry form. So the range where we're going to pick our criteria is going to be, the range will be this one here. I drop the end reference. Our criteria is gonna be our income there, comma, the sum range for income is what is in column D. We close our brackets, we press enter and get 800. The percentage variance is easy. So this divided by this, I fix the range, copy it down, and that is okay. Now this will be the same for these ones as well. However, I'll have to change this to L3 and copy down. The next is, how do we get our investment? What was our planned investment? Our planned investment, let's say, was 130. And our planned savings, let's say, was 120. So we use some if function, our range, where we're going to select our criteria, is column G. Drop the end reference, comma. Our criteria is this investment here, comma. Our sum range for investments is column E. So when I do that, I get a 50K for investments. When I come down here, investments, let's check. We have a 20 here. Go down. We have 30 here, 20 here, plus add those two, you get 50, which comes right here. Next, we want our savings. So we say sum if range from where we're going to pick our criteria is this one here, comma, our criteria is in right here, K7, comma, the sum range, what we are summing is in column E, drop the end reference. Now I need to fix these ranges, but I'm not copying them down, so it's not necessary. Cancel that, enter, and I get the 150 there. So my percentage will be that, divide by that, autofill, yes, and this will be my investment report. Next, let's go to, let me use the filter function instead. So I'm going to say filter the range I want to be returned and the condition. In my master, what I want to be returned is in column A, and the condition is that whatever is here is equal to expense. Close brackets. I think I need to lock this and also lock this one here. Press enter. Your expenses are loaded in there. So I put my total. Now I'm going to put, based on my plan, how much I'm supposed to be spending on each of these. So let's say this is 30K. This one doesn't matter. What matters is the principal. Maybe another 10K there. Maybe 30K. Maybe 28.1. Bank charges, maybe that amount. Okay. Now, how do we get the actuals? We are going to get them from the detailed sheet. So I'm going to use the sum if function again. Where is the criteria for my range? Is this column here? The criteria should be this one here. So I need to fix this because I'm going to copy this formula down. And the sum range will be in what is out here. Let's fix that as well. Close. The sum range is what is here. Let's fix that. Close the brackets. Press enter. It tells me rent is 8,000. Come here. Look for rent, 4,000. Another rent, 4,000. Those are the two rents which give us the 8,000. It looks okay. I copy this down. And this is what I get. So here I put a sum function which adds up my planned expenditure, my actual expenditure, and the variance will be plan minus actual. And so I'm going to insert conditional formatting here. So if values are greater than 0, they are going to be in green, and values less than 0 are going to be in red. So I go under format. I select a rule. I look for greater than 0. Insert a 0 there. I don't want the background, put it to null, but I want the figure, the font to be green. Press OK. Insert another rule. Look for less than 0. I don't want a background. I want color red, text, bold. Close that. So you'll see that the greens show that our spending is below budget, and the reds show that our spending was above budget. So this is our expenditure report. Summary report is easy because we are picking the totals. Pick the total of savings, go to the savings report and pick the actual there. Go to this investment report and pick the total like so. Having done that, get the sum, which is the sum of all these items there. Next, we want spending as compared to our actual spending. I lock. This one gives me 30%. I copy this across and I get 35% savings and 35% investments, and the total is right there. Now lastly, let's get our balances. I want to copy. Let's get our balances. So I need a unique list. I'll run to my master, pick my payment methods. It populates there. I'm going to insert in random figures for my opening balances. Like so. I need to calculate the current balance. To get the current balance, we need to get the opening balance, which is in this column B, plus this. What we received is under our data sheet, and I'm using the sum if formula, and I'm going to select all that relates to cash. So I go to the criteria where I pick my cash column, like so. Because I'm going to copy this formula down, I have to lock it, comma. The criteria, I want to sum up values relating to the cash, comma, and the sum range is in what I received here, and which I also lock like so. So having done that, this one will give me what has been received. Then I need to subtract what I have paid. So I'm going to copy this, say minus what I have paid. The criteria range and criteria are the same, but what changes is now what is paid is in under column E. So I'll select column E like so, then press enter. So when I do that, you can see I get 1,015,015, and we can confirm whether it is right. So I started with 300. I go as cash. I go and see how much cash came in. Another 800 came in, so that becomes 1,100,000. Then I paid out cash of 10,000, paid out cash of 50, 25. So when you add 10, 50, 20, and 5, you get 85. So 101,100,000 minus 85, you'll get what we have here. So after that, I'll copy my formula down, then I'll do my sum like so, and then also do a sum here, then get the percentage of the current balance to our total there, like so. Autofill comes in, all is fine. I'll change this to that color, and I'll change this to this color. And we are done with our personal finance tracking sheet, which tracks our expenses, investments, savings, current balance, and income. This is a very good sheet that you can use to track your personal finances. If you have liked it, please hit the like button, because if I receive a lot of likes and good comments about it, I'll consider improving this. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and see you in the next video. Have a great day.